This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.
Hey folks, welcome to This Epic Disaster. We're here on a nice day. We don't normally do the show during the day.
No, we don't.
We kind of do, but I mean like in the evening.
Like
but
round
this is,
5.
It's just afternoon.
It's odd, isn't it?
It's like a special weird show because you're doing some events.
I forgot what you look like in the daytime.
You know, it's like Dracula. You don't want me out of the coffin before a certain time.
True.
But you're out doing special events and having fun, and so we had to do an earlier show.
We did, because my schedule didn't allow.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but we're here.
We're here now.
And we're having a good time.
Yes, we are.
This is going to be a great show.
It is. You know why?
I don't know. Tell me why.
Because I have a friend in town.
A friend in town? I have a friend in Jesus.
Really?
There's so much you could say about that.
I'm not going to.
Don't even.
There were the
we don't even wanna
places
talk
my
about
brain went, you don't want to go.
No, we never want to go where your brain goes. All right, so...
But this is why my schedule has changed a little bit this week, is because one of my absolute best friends from Alaska is here.
Really?
She's also an avid listener to the podcast.
Oh, who is that?
Her name is Ri-Sean.
Oh, the Stalker.
Yes.
The Stalker.
Yes.
Is in town?
She is.
Wow.
Matter of fact, she's in the studio.
Wait, what? You have a stalker in the studio?
I do. I have a stalker in the studio.
Oh, you didn't tell me this.
Actually, she's your stalker, too.
Oh, my God. Well, what are we going to do about this?
We're going to have to talk to her.
Really?
Yeah.
So we have a special guest.
We do.
We don't have a lot of special guests on this show.
That's true.
Today we have a special guest. The Stalker is a special guest.
Say hello, Ri-Sean.
Hello.
All right.
Yay.
It's a 3-person podcast.
It is.
This is great because we have, what is it? I want to say 33% more fun.
That would be correct.
I think that's right.
We are, yes.
I don't know how it works. I failed math.
I did too.
Well, I hope we have enough beer because we should start off with a live beer review.
Like we always do.
We always start with a live beer review. Today, now give us a little background why we're drinking what we're drinking.
Well, first, our stalker brought it to us.
A Stalker brought beer.
Yes.
And that's the kind of stalkers I like.
Me too. And it's from Alaska. It is called...
Because your stalker is from Alaska.
I just said that.
I'm just repeating.
Okay.
For people who are slow like me.
Okay. So this is from Anchorage Brewing Company
Ooh.
in Anchorage, Alaska. And it is called The Experiment. It's a sour beer with wild Alaskan blueberries. It's going to be awesome. And let's see, sour ale, fermented in French oak foundries with a Belgian yeast, aged 1 year in French oak. What? I just said that. Anyways, it's yummy. We're going to try it.
Did you have trouble bringing this on the plane?
Not at all.
Do they have to, when you're bringing, well, first of all, did they even know you bring it? Is it like on a carry-on or something like that?
It was in my luggage.
And they don't, do they x-ray it and then they go, ma'am, tell me what this is right here. We're going to have to pull you over and do a cavity search.
Oh, God. For beer?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know.
Well, they didn't call my name back, so I would say no.
So was it in your checked luggage?
In my checked luggage, yes.
Okay.
I would have begged them for a cavity search. I'd be like, please. And they're
Please
like, sir,
check
it's
my
just
cavity.
beer. And I'm like, look, right here. They're like, sir, put your pants back on.
I need my
Stop
cavities
spreading
checked.
your cheeks. All right. This is, you got to open it. It's like wine. It's got a cork.
No, it's like champagne.
Champagne.
So this is 7%
This is a champagne of
alcohol.
beer.
7% alcohol.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's early yet, but come on. Hold on.
You make any lube? This is
Oh, for the cavity check?
both.
I can't get the beer open. Ah. Okay, now you have to open yours and give me mine.
Wait a minute. That's not fair. Yours doesn't even. Wow, this is the longest opening segment we've ever done with beer.
I'm so sorry. Oh, wow.
It looks like Kool-Aid.
It's beautiful.
I've never seen purple beer before.
It is purple.
It's like grape juice beer.
Wow. Let me give Ri-Sean
Tell me
some
again.
before I
Tell me
run
again
out.
what the ingredients are. Why is this one much harder to open than mine?
Because it's mine. All right. There's some beer for Ri-Sean. She's going to taste and do the review of the beer, but she doesn't necessarily like beer, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, so she's not going to have a whole bunch.
So it'll be we'll have like two completely uneducated opinions and one I hate beer opinion. So
That's right.
people who love beer should never take any of thing that we talk about.
No.
This is like the color of grape juice.
Now, one thing I'm noticing right off the bat that you're going to have a problem with is that there's not a lot of carbonation.
No, I don't know. I might be all right with it.
But it really does look like juice.
It smells kind of... Tell me again what this is.
It's a sour with Alaskan blueberries.
Blueberries, that's why
Wild
it's this
Alaskan blueberries.
All right, so are we ready to do this?
I'm going to taste it.
Taste
Ri-Sean,
it.
go ahead and taste
Here we
yours
go.
as well.
I'm smelling it first. Oh, it doesn't smell like blueberries.
It doesn't. What's it smell like?
It's very weird smelling.
It smells tart.
Yeah, it smells like a blueberry pie.
Then that would
Gone
be blueberry.
bad.
Oh.
It's like sour blueberry pie.
Oh. And what does Ri-Sean think?
It's very tart.
It's
It is
very
tart.
tart. Okay.
Interesting. No, okay, now I'm going to say this. This is what New Holland's Blue Sunday should have tasted like.
Yes,
Yeah.
because this is definitely blue.
It's blueberry and sour. Mm-hmm. All right, I almost spilled it on you just now.
I'm wearing a new shirt. Please don't do that because I imagine this would stain.
Probably
big
will,
time.
especially with this stuff. Okay. Again, tell me the name of this.
It's called The Experiment, and it's from
Experiment.
Anchorage Brewing Company.
It's very cool. And we're doing the sours.
Yeah.
We're on like a sour kick.
I am loving the sours, as everybody knows.
All right. Well,
So,
we'll talk about at the end of the podcast
Yep.
what we think of this.
yep, we'll let you know.
And we got plenty to drink.
We sure do. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about a little bit of something. I debated on whether I should even mention this. I'm going to mention it because it's a little personal. It kind of it starts moving into the area that's a little personal.
Does it have to do with your butt?
No, not. It could.
Does it have to do with your junk?
I hope so. No.
God.
Okay, so I took a quiz. Okay, I should give a little history on this quiz I took.
Please do.
So, years ago, when I was married to someone else, this was probably the early 2000s.
Okay.
And I was in a relationship, and the my wife at the time made the comment. She said, "I think you might be autistic." And I never heard that, and I was just like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I wasn't offended. I actually thought it was funny, and I kind of laughed about it. And I just thought, well, she doesn't even know me. She's out of touch. And so I never really thought much about it. And then I think every relationship I've been in since then, the person has said the same thing. And I probably had the same reaction. And first of all, I don't know anything about autism. And so I don't remember what. I guess it's just I might have mentioned it to the person I'm married to now.
Yes.
And
your current wife.
Yeah, and she kind of, I think, made the comment of, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, really? Okay. And so I did some research. I started reading up on it. And so what I would find is the traits that I would supposedly have that have to do with autism either are like, bingo, dead on, that's me.
Yes.
Or that isn't me at all. Not even close.
Okay.
So just like it's rare that there's anything that's like sometimes not. It's just like yes or no. So I don't remember what I was doing last week, but I do remember I found a website about Saturday Night Live, and I was reading about Dan Aykroyd, who is well known to have Asperger's syndrome. Is that right? Asperger's syndrome?
Yes.
Syndrome?
Syndrome.
Disorder, whatever they call it.
It's not a disorder.
I don't even know if it's a syndrome either.
I don't think so.
But so
It's just a thing.
That reminded me. I was just like, oh, okay. And then I thought, well, let's see what that is. And I started reading it and looking it up, and I found a quiz online, 50 questions, and I just thought, okay, I'm going to take it. So
Yeah.
I went through the quiz.
Did it cost you money?
No.
Okay.
I took the quiz, and after it was done, I scored. There was 3 scores that you could get.
I know.
You could get, nope, not at all.
Yep.
Don't worry about it, buddy.
You're right.
Could be, maybe.
Asperger's.
Think about it. Yeah. Or you got it.
You're autistic.
Go get diagnosed.
Yes.
So that's the one I scored.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And then I just thought, well, maybe it's not accurate. And so my wife is like, well, let me take it. So she decided to take it. Now, my wife is a little bit like me. There are times that I've kind of thought she might have those kind of characteristics.
Okay.
Either that or she's just neurotic.
I think she's just neurotic.
And that's what she said. That's what she said. So she took the quiz, and her score was no, not at all.
Nope, not at all.
And then I was like, oh, crap. So now, after people saying this about me my whole life, and I have to say that I've always kind of thought, well, it could be.
Uh-huh.
I don't know for sure, but it could be. And now I took this test that says, oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, of course, that's not a diagnosis. I haven't
quiz.
I haven't been diagnosed. So now that's my question to you.
What's your question to me?
Should I, at 56 years old, should I go get diagnosed to see if I actually medically have? It's not something you have. What, traits? I don't even know.
Let's just say, are you on the autism spectrum?
Yeah. Should I do that?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
I think that the fact that you question it and the fact that you were curious about it and the fact that people have said this to you and you thought, wow, I'd really kind of like to see that right there would tell me that you should go be diagnosed.
Well, I have a few things. I'm not against it. I don't care either way.
I know.
I like who I am. I am who I am.
It's not going to change who you are.
But I think what I'd be most concerned about is in situations that I just don't want it to be a thing where people would, at some point where I do something and then people just kind of look at each other and they're just like, he's got Asperger's. I don't want that.
I tell people that to make excuses for you already.
It's because he's autistic.
I tell people that. I'm like, okay, people are like, he seems nervous. He doesn't look me in the eye and he sways when he talks. And I'm like, he's got Asperger's.
But see, but here's what's weird. It's like, when I was telling my wife, she was like, you look at me in the eye all the time. And I do if it's somebody that I know.
You look me in the eye all the time too.
If it's somebody I don't know, I don't.
Right.
So, but I feel like, is a diagnosis going to work against me or for me? What good would I get out of knowing at this point in my life?
I don't know.
I already know. I mean, possibly isn't that good enough?
And I guess since it doesn't make a difference to you, there's really no point in going. But the fact that it did
could I get medical marijuana? Then maybe I might want to do it.
Maybe.
I don't know. Do they allow that?
Maybe.
Or the free parking passes?
No, because you're not. Asperger's, autism, it's not a disability.
I feel like if I'm going to have a disorder, I really want to have something with the word ass in it. So I'm glad from that standpoint.
Right. Because the other things with the word ass in them could be horrible.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, in some ways, it's kind of... Okay, so here's what's already started happening. And I don't want this to go on too much longer. I didn't want to make it about that. But
it's all about you.
So when I find that I like something or I'm into something or I enjoy something, and then I start going, oh, could it be because I have Asperger's? So I bought, okay, here, you know this about me. If let's say I discover a new artist.
Uh-huh.
I listening to the radio and I discover a new artist. And I like this artist. I'm like, I really like that artist. In a month, I will have every album the artist owns, most of their T-shirts, and I will have a ticket to whatever concert is close by. And I will listen to nothing but that artist for like months and months and months.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
This is correct, and I do know this about you.
If I need to get, like vaping, that was a good thing.
Yeah.
So here's what people do. People go to the store. They're like, I need to quit smoking. I'm going to go buy a vape pen. And so they'll go and they'll buy a vape pen. And then they stop smoking. So I get into vaping. I buy 150 vape pens.
Right.
With all of the tanks.
Yep.
1,000 different flavors.
Yep.
And there's no possible way I can use them.
And you currently have a display case downstairs, essentially holding all your pipes, your different mods, your different tanks, all the flavors. It's like you could open your own store with what you have.
You can look around in my studio and see it's not the most organized studio in the world. I flip out if the silverware in my drawer is not categorized towards size, like the small spoons here. So, like, the other day I went to Goodwill and I found, I would say, 25 to 30 CDs
Right.
of fantastic music. I'll show them to you later. But anyway, so I bought it. And it's kind of house music,
Okay.
right? Trance, which it's awesome music. So I'm listening to it and I just think I love this kind of music. It's very jazzy. But what I notice is, as in all house music, is there's these little rhythmic patterns that repeat throughout the thing.
Right.
And it just goes on. And that's a trait, a characteristic of Asperger's or autism, is really getting into repeating patterns.
Repetition. So repetition does it for you.
So I don't know. I'm just saying now I'm questioning when I like something. I'm like, why do I like this?
Okay, now this
And
is where your
is this-
OCD comes into play.
But is it OCD or is it Asperger's? I don't know. I'm new to these kind of things. I'm trying to explore, and then that's what should I find out more about it? Do I need to be diagnosed, or do I just let it go and just like whatever? That's something other people need to worry about, not me.
So can I just from now on call you an obsessive compulsive Asperger?
If you want to.
Okay, I will. Now, you do you. If you want to go get an official diagnosis, you do it. Personally, I don't think it matters, but the fact that now that you're all worried about it and concerned about it and trying to determine whether you actually have likes and dislikes or if it's just some disorder,
Well,
that seems a little neurotic to me.
Well, sure, but that's happening. That's going to happen whether I get a diagnosis or not. I guess my question is, what good? And maybe there are people out there who are more experienced, because if I do have it, I have high functioning autism. I mean, I've gone my whole life without even knowing it.
Right.
But there are some people, and I know some people personally, who have family members or whatever who are not that high functioning.
Correct.
And so they probably have a whole lot more experience with that than I do, even knowing. So I'm just, I guess I just want to know, is it maybe your opinion and our listeners' opinion, is it something that is worth being diagnosed for? And if so, why?
Like, what are the benefits of being diagnosed?
Yes, that's what I'm curious about.
I don't know. Do they give drugs for Asperger's?
Well, that's what I said. I get medical marijuana. I'm just wondering, at my age, what could I possibly get from it? I think, like my wife says, it would help you in, like, okay, I have my own business. I own my own business. I'm the worst business person in the world.
Yes, you are.
I'm horrible
You're
business
awful.
person. And so my wife says it would help you to know what a lot of your weaknesses are in business. But it's like, I already know what those are.
But you don't do anything to fix them now. Why
No.
would you later?
I know.
So, yeah, no. I mean, that wouldn't be a benefit. It could be a benefit, but it's not one that you would take advantage of.
I just feel like that it would end up being more of an excuse. It's just like I said, just people be like, no, he's got Asperger's.
I do that now.
I know. But then maybe I could use it for my own benefits.
Don't mind me. I have Asperger's.
Or I could, get a table at the restaurant or something. I don't know if it works that way.
I'm sorry. I have to eat right now. Wapner.
No, I know, but see, that's what's weird. Here's what's weird. And I'm going to stop at this, but like things that I've done my whole life. And there's a few things that I've done my whole life that when I've watched the movie Rain Man, I'm like, uh-oh, I've done that. Mm-hmm. And so like if I am somewhere, like if I'm where an elevator is, and I'm walking around and the elevator makes a tone, I have to make that same tone I have to try to match the pitch of that elevator. So the elevator will go, boom, and then I have to go, boom, and I have to hit it, try to match it. And then I remember Rain Man was on, and he's listening to the radio station that went, boop, you're listening to Rock 95.
Yes.
And so he did that like 50 times over, and I was like, oh, crap.
Yep. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is always bugging me.
To be your brother?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to be your brother?
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or not. But anyway, I'm going to end at that. Sorry.
Well, keep us informed, because I'm interested to find out, first, if you do go, and second, if you get an actual diagnosis.
I don't want to make fun of it. I'm not making fun of it at all.
I know you're not.
I mean, if anything, then I have it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have a sense of humor about everything, no matter what.
Right.
If I had cancer, I think I would find something that
I
I could
think
deal
cancer's
with
hilarious.
You're going to make me take that out. You're going to say, "Can you edit that out?"
No, I'm
have a
not.
problem
No,
with it."
I'm not. I don't think it's hilarious for other people. I think it would be hilarious for me.
No, it wouldn't be hilarious. But you can, if any disorder or anything that you have, you can say, "I'm going to face this with a sense of humor."
Exactly.
And because what else? What's your other choice?
There
Just-
is no other
Just let it
choice.
bug you for the rest of your life or whatever. So, especially at my age, it's not going to change who I am necessarily. But I think knowing, I heard a few months ago there's actually a sketch comedy group of people with autism and Asperger's.
Oh, you're doing this to get a job.
I wish
Okay.
now I can finally get
Okay.
hired.
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe I
Yeah.
could use this in some ways to.
Get a job.
That's right.
Okay. So, you know what our listeners are thinking right now?
Is there another podcast that's just as good and that I can download?
No, that's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, God, I wish they would just get to the Zabmondo already.
Oh, well, I was thinking that too.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go first.
All right.
You're
We
going to
have
go second.
We have 3. I think we should let the guest go first.
Guest goes last because that's
Really?
where we're going to start talking to our guests.
Oh, okay.
Is that all right?
Guest goes
Does that make
last.
sense? How do you feel about that, Rashawn?
Whatever you guys want to do.
Okay. So, yes, unless you forgot, Rashawn is still with us. Okay.
You're gonna drop a blue.
Are you trying to be psychic? It's yellow.
You cheated.
I did not cheat. How do I? Are you going to read me a card or what? So
How?
Zabmondo is a. Would you?
Back off. We just started the game. All right, yellow. Are we ready?
Yes.
Would you rather live next to a garbage? This is a garbage thump. I can't believe it actually says a garbage thump. I gotta try my glasses here. No, it doesn't. It says dump. Sorry.
Jesus, Rick.
I really saw it said thump. Would you rather live next to a garbage dump or a cemetery?
Cemetery.
That's so stupid.
Easy. I would enjoy living next to a cemetery. I live very close to a good cemetery now. A very old cemetery. A cemetery that was there before the Civil War.
I mean, I knew this one. And not only that, but that's easy.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
You need another one.
It's all stupid. Here, it's your
cool.
turn. All right.
Should I drop my red one?
Yeah, let's get a red one going.
Here we go.
All right. What do you got? Purple.
Purple
Okay.
is red and blue. I said you were going to drop a blue, and I said I was going to drop a red. I dropped a purple. There.
Oh, yeah. Recap.
I
Thanks
just
for the
have to
recap.
figure out a way to make myself right.
All right.
That's all that's important in this
So
world.
purple is food and indigestion,
Okay, let's have this food and indigestion question.
which I've had both of this morning.
Okay.
Okay, so would you rather thoroughly lick the handle of a urinal
We had this question, didn't we?
No.
No, we had a toilet seat or something.
or a 10-foot section of the handrail next to the courthouse steps
I would do that one.
rather than the handle, just a little handle of
Oh.
a urinal?
Is it
or
my urinal or public urinal? It doesn't say though, does
it
it?
does not specify.
Oh, a urinal, like what dudes pee in, the little handle thing at the top.
Yes, either the little
Well,
handle
I mean,
there
I don't have one of those in my house, so it has to be a public thing. And
or a 10-foot section of a handrail.
I'll lick. I don't have to swallow.
No,
That's what she said. I would lick the urinal handle
good for you.
one time.
Thoroughly. It says
Again.
thoroughly.
Oh, huh?
Thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
Like you have to really lick it.
All right, I'll do that. Who's making up these these questions? That's stupid, insane.
I don't know. Okay, so it's Rashawn's turn.
I like
Right.
how it takes a while to figure this out. Like it's something I have to really.
You really have to think about these
like
things.
I'm really going to be doing that.
Like, does it specify if it's in a public place?
Purple.
Oh, she got a purple one too.
Another one.
Lovely.
Okay, once again, food and ingestion.
Food and ingestion.
So, Rashawn,
Wait. How is licking a urinal handrail food or ingestion? I guess you're ingesting germs. Anyway, go ahead.
Yep.
it's part of the alimentary canal, which starts at your lips and ends at your asshole.
Okay.
All right, so not starting at your lips and ends at somebody else's asshole. That's different.
That's Friday night. All right, go ahead.
All right, Rashawn, would you rather drink a large bottle of soy sauce through a straw or slam a bottle of sake?
Really?
Really?
I got the toilet licking, and
She got sake.
this is like
Can I mix them and do it?
Asian restaurant date.
I guess so.
I do sake.
You'd do the sake.
I would.
So you would slam an entire bottle of sake, then drink a large bottle of soy sauce through a straw. I would agree with you.
Yes.
Now tell me why.
Well, at least I'd enjoy what would happen to me after drinking the sake than I would the soy sauce.
That's true.
And I'm
That's
licking
true.
a toilet over here.
Yes. Yes. Or a handrail outside the courthouse, in which case the cops would be like, "Do you
can I
need
have
a
a little?
ride?"
Could I get a little soy sauce on the toilet handle, please?
It's okay, after doing the sake, I might just actually lick the handrail. Who
Right,
knows at that
right.
point?
You'd be like, handrail.
There you go.
Handrail. Okay, yeah. So I would definitely do the bottle of sake myself because drinking a large bottle of soy sauce, do you know how much sodium you would ingest in that moment? That would just be like, you would die of a heart attack right then and there.
I'm not that worried about sodium while I'm licking one of the hand.
All those sweaty hands, there's a lot of salt there.
I can imagine. All
Yeah,
right.
I
Well, so what's been going on? Okay. What have you guys been doing? What's been
Really?
going on?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what angle I wanted to kind of approach.
And you went with a cute angle.
No, I went with I kind of wanted I'm just going to let you go with it.
I'm
you,
going.
You tell me what's
I'm
going
going.
on.
All right. So Rashawn got here on Friday
From
from Alaska,
Now-
Anchorage, Alaska, which is where we met.
So the trip is from Alaska to Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's culture shock, weather shock,
Weather shock.
and culture shock.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes. So I will tell you that we've had some really good weather here. And what do you think of it, Rashawn?
It's better now. In the beginning, I thought I was going to die. It was so humid.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really not, but it is.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I didn't want to move to Atlanta was the weather. And I will say I've been here 3 years now? 4 years? I can't remember. And it hasn't been as bad as I thought.
Not nearly. Not nearly.
And it's not as bad as Chattanooga.
Not nearly. Oh my God, no. Chattanooga is like breathing water. So, okay. So what we've been doing thus far is we've been eating out a lot.
Oh yeah.
And we went to
Well,
Grindhouse.
Chattanooga is Atlanta's very much a foodie kind of city.
Big time foodie.
Lots of restaurants and cool stuff.
Rashawn had an epiphany, if you will,
Where do you get those?
at Grindhouse.
Really?
Yes. We went to Grindhouse and tell them what you had, Rashawn.
I had the Impossible Burger.
Okay.
The Impossible Burger, which we've talked about several times on this podcast.
Yes. It is
Reason for wanting it.
right.
We should explain the Impossible Burger is sort of a new kind of burger. It is a plant-based
vegan.
burger that tastes very close to real beef.
Yes, it does.
We don't know. Well, we did. We found out what they put on it. Wasn't it some kind of yeasty, mushroomy kind of thing?
Something. I'm not clear on
it's
what.
something that comes from yeast, if I remember right.
I think you're right. And then, but I mean, it's soy and plant based. It's.
I don't know about soy. I don't remember.
I just read the ingredients. It's got soy in it.
Okay.
Okay, so what'd you think of it?
I thought it was amazing.
You did.
I did. I
It
devoured it.
Yeah.
It is.
It was so good. I wasn't expecting it to taste
Now,
like that.
are you
Yeah.
vegan?
No,
Are you vegetarian?
No.
So you could go out and have a burger anytime you want.
I could.
And it's still good.
It's better. I
Whoa.
honestly think
Wow.
it was better.
Yeah.
I
But you don't know
really
how
do.
Rashawn likes her burgers.
No, but I mean, okay, so I still remember what burgers taste like. And I am what I would refer to as a meat eating, a carnivorous vegetarian.
Yes.
Like I like my vegetarian's food to taste like meat. And it's hard to find. And this is like one of the first times when I'm like, oh wow, it's an actual burger.
Yes. Yes. I agree. So, so that's what we've been doing. We've been eating a lot. We went out to a couple of things. Now, yesterday, I drug her to.
Wow, that's illegal.
No, she enjoyed it.
I did.
Oh,
To.
like roofies?
No, I didn't say I drugged her.
Oh.
I said I drug
Oh,
her.
okay. Wow.
Goodness. To one of our biggest haunted houses here in Atlanta called Netherworld.
Really?
Yes. And I will let Rashawn tell you how it went.
It
It
is
was
the season.
exhausting.
It's the season for haunted houses.
It is.
We're
It
almost
is.
at Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was exhausting.
Now,
Exhausting, huh?
It was exhausting.
what is this? Is it like what kind of? Was it in a house? Is it in like an actual
it's
castle?
in
or-
like a big warehouse,
Okay.
and then they put like corridors and
Uh-huh.
small rooms in it,
Okay.
and it is packed full of decorations and scary things and people that jump out at you and scare you, and things that are made to disorientate you. So there's moving floors, and there's things swaying back and forth.
A lot of clowns.
A couple clowns, yeah, and like areas where the floor spins slowly. So
really?
It just really jacks you up. It gets you so disorientated that you can't tell where you are or which direction to go.
Where is this located?
Stone Mountain.
Really?
Yeah, it's right over
My
here.
own hometown.
It's the next 2 exits up. It's 2 exits.
Netherworld?
Netherworld.
So
yes.
does it have like a theme? Is it like, I mean, does Netherworld mean something, or is it just like a bunch of scary stuff?
It's a bunch of scary stuff.
Just crammed into a warehouse.
Basically, it's a bunch of scary stuff. They have a different theme every year that they start with, but it's basically all kind of the same stuff. And then you'll walk up on like a big scary alien monster, and then you'll walk up into another section where there's like a butcher, cutting people up, and then you walk into another section, and there's mermaids, with their tridents, trying to kill you.
Right.
Things jump out at you. There's huge hands that try to grab you. It's a blast. I would say everybody needs to go. Everybody needs to go to this.
So, wow, everybody.
Everybody.
They would appreciate that, I'm sure.
I bet they would. I have a friend that works there, and he's actually a listener. We did not see him, or if we did, he was in costume, and I didn't recognize him. But yeah, so Ri-Sean thoroughly enjoyed the haunted house.
I'm curious, and I don't want to. I know you're talking about the foodie stuff, but I'm curious. I want to ask how you like Atlanta. Is this your first time in Atlanta?
This is my first time.
How do you like Atlanta? Is it what you thought it was? Are you seeing enough of it to where you think, you're getting an opinion of it? Do you think a fair opinion?
I love the neighborhoods. I love the I don't know. I love how everyone is into Halloween down here for the most part. That's been really fun to come down at this time. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see Cheri. It's nice to be in civilization again.
Yeah. The
That's
neighborhoods
what I
are
call
kind of fun because that's one of the things about Atlanta. Maybe like everywhere, I don't know, but Atlanta is very much characterized by the neighborhood that you're in.
Mm-hmm. It's just a collection of neighborhoods.
And it's kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, have you been downtown? Have you been to? That's fun too.
We have not made it to Midtown. I hate parking down there, and because I hate parking down there, I don't go down there often enough to know what's
Take Marta. It's fun, except when the people decide they're going to kill you,
right.
which rarely happens. But
Occasionally,
I say rarely, but even if it happens once, it's not fun.
it's enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I don't know. That's something I mean, I know it happens, but I feel like that the whole crime part of Atlanta was bigger before I moved here than here. It doesn't seem to be as big of a deal since I've been here.
I haven't been exposed to any crime.
Me either. The stories and stuff are more infamous outside of Atlanta than inside.
I think so, and I think it used to be a lot worse than it is.
I
think that's where a lot of the stories come from.
I think you're correct.
I think at this time there's more crime in Anchorage than there is here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Per capita,
per capita.
absolutely. They have a murder every day in
right now
Anchorage,
in Anchorage.
and there's only what's the population?
260,000 people.
260,000 people, and they have a murder per day. Now, we obviously have a murder per day here in Atlanta, but we also have 5 million people that live here.
I think so.
Yeah, so
More.
it's a little different.
And maybe it's
Yeah.
more prominent because we hear about it every day. It's in the news every single day.
Well, now we're going to be doing something this coming weekend.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things about Atlanta, which is the big Halloween thing.
The Halloween parade in Little Five Points, which is one of the little neighborhoods.
It's a little crazy.
It gets a little crazy.
Okay, so like I went to Pride this past week in
Good for
downtown
you.
Atlanta. First time I've ever been. It wasn't what I thought.
You're a good ally.
First of all, it was huge.
Yes.
It's about 5 times bigger than what I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Second of all, it was so much more family friendly than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I thought there was going to be, men dancing with alligators on their scrotum and just doing. I mean,
Where does the alligator on the scrotum come from?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I just thought it was just going to be all this kind of bizarre, just the fetishes and people celebrating who they are and what they like and all, which kind of happened. But I was surprised that it was so much more family friendly and there were lots of kids.
Yeah.
there were guys dancing with their junk swaying, and that's, they do that. Mm-hmm. That's okay. Mm-hmm. And the kids seem to be fine with it. But I just, I never felt like I was in some place I was uncomfortable.
Good, because you shouldn't be.
But I feel that way when I go to the Halloween parade a lot.
You feel uncomfortable?
Slightly.
Why?
It's a fun parade.
Yes.
It's just a little bit more freaky. And I just feel like, even though it's still one of my favorite things, it's fun. There's just an element there where you just never know someone's going to snap.
Oh, so you're concerned for your safety?
Not personally, but maybe a little bit. But I just feel like I don't know. There's a little element of danger more in that parade than the other one, than the pride.
And it's a smaller crowd.
Yeah, but it's still big.
By far.
It's still big.
Yeah. So basically, they take up the entire stretch of road through Little Five, where we were last night, where we drove past, and they do floats and things for Halloween, and a lot of people show up, and they do serve. There's little bars set up, and you can buy drinks, and then of course you can buy drinks inside the little places too if you want to go inside the restaurants. But getting a table at a restaurant during the parade,
no,
It's crazy.
it's not going to happen.
So now, are you dressing up?
Yes.
What's your plans?
We don't have one yet. We have until Sunday or Saturday.
Got
to think
some
about
ideas?
it. Yes, I have lots of costumes.
I don't know what I want to do. I probably end up doing the same thing. But see, I like to go to these things to take photographs. And if I've got too much costume on, that sort of gets in the way.
It does.
So I don't really know what I want to do. I need some suggestions.
Well, you always do a kilt.
I know. This podcast will come out after the fact. So we can't ask people to solicit. We can't get information from people. We can't get suggestions from people. It'll already be done.
Yeah, it'll be over. They can give you suggestions for next year.
Yeah, please send me some suggestions on what I should be next year for Halloween. I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be for Halloween. I'm just going to show you after the fact.
I'm going to be naked. I've never been naked in public. I think I'm going to do naked.
You've never been naked in public?
No, never have.
Really?
I think I might do it. Because here's the thing. There were, like, when I was at Pride Parade, there was a lot of guys wearing like really, really, really short pants.
Yes.
Spandex underwear.
Yes.
I thought you had to be like really, really big to do that.
No.
You don't.
No, you don't.
They don't care.
No. Nobody cares.
They don't care at all.
Nope.
So.
You can wear your Speedo thong.
I don't have one.
You should
but
buy
I should
one.
get one.
A Speedo thong.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
I
some
also thought
flip-flops.
you would get arrested for doing that in public, and they didn't. So I'm thinking nude this week. You know.
Yeah. Not completely, because you might get arrested.
No, I might wear a fig leaf. I could be Adam.
You could be Adam with your hair.
If I can get an Eve.
Maria.
I don't think she'll do it.
Oh.
She's from Minnesota.
That's right. They don't get naked.
They don't get naked
Ever.
in public.
Ever. So, yeah, that sounds fun.
See what I'm talking about? How the podcast just takes these directions.
I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I don't either. I don't know.
We do have Ri-Sean on the show.
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't talk about nudity.
Why?
It's a guest. You got to be polite.
Hey, I've been nude in public. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah,
I'm the only one here
that has
hasn't
not been nude in
public.
public. Exactly.
There you go. I should do it. That's why I go.
Because this show is called This Epic Disaster,
Right.
I asked Ri-Sean before she came on the show to think of a disaster in her life that she
Oh.
would like to discuss with us.
Yeah, because we like to share the disasters, and we like to let people know that you can survive the disasters of your
can.
life.
Yes, you can.
Which we obviously survived, and
So has
some of us
Ri-Sean.
have continued
Yes.
on that.
Yes. So I'm going to ask Ri-Sean to tell us a story.
All right.
So I have many epic disasters.
Okay.
However, my first one would be when I got married my very first time.
How many times have you been married?
I've been married twice.
Okay.
Almost
Oh.
divorced twice now.
Okay.
And you're still not the person in the room with the most marriage.
No. Nope.
So I was, 19. I was Jehovah's Witness.
Wait, what?
I was a Jehovah's Witness.
So you were raised Jehovah's
I was
Witness?
raised as a Jehovah's Witness. I
Okay.
actually third generation Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
I came to a point where I was finally allowed to date. My
Mm-hmm.
father actually told me, it is time for you to find a mate.
And this was at 19?
Those were his words. 19.
Until then, you didn't date.
I
though.
wasn't allowed to.
Even allowed to. You're an adult at 18.
I was living in my parents' house.
Okay.
Their house, their rules, not allowed to date.
Okay.
So one of my friends was speaking and chatting with a gentleman who was in Wildwood Penitentiary.
Wait, what?
Nice.
Yes,
Wow.
Wildwood Penitentiary, which is in Kenai, Alaska.
Okay.
So I decided I no longer wanted her speaking with him because I was still somewhat into the religion, but kind of stepping out at this point. And so I had called to talk to him and to tell him to stop talking to my friend.
Let me interrupt you for just a second. Oh, where are you originally from? Alaska? Is this...
I am actually originally from Colorado, but we moved to Alaska when I was 9.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much raised there. So I ended up speaking to this gentleman, and it was kind of welcome to the parlor, said the spider to the fly. Mm-hmm. He was 20 years older than me, in jail.
Wow.
He still had 9 months to go.
So there's hope for me.
Yes. Yes, there is.
And yeah, so he finally got out of jail, came to Anchorage, was in a halfway house. We dated for about another year.
So you stole your friend's man?
No, this was not my friend's man. This was my friend's man's friend.
Okay. Okay. All right. Did your friend stop talking to the guy?
No, actually, she ended up marrying him.
Wow.
She ended up becoming addicted to heroin with him, and she committed suicide.
I'm
Holy
sorry.
crap. That's a whole different disaster.
Jesus.
Totally different way to go.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all crazy.
All right.
So anyhow, I ended up eventually marrying this gentleman who had 2 children. He didn't work. It was crazy. And
You keep calling him a gentleman.
well, this
Anyways.
guy, this dude.
Okay.
Sorry.
All
So
right.
anyway, the greatest part about it is that he was a KKK member.
Wow.
And yes, I am an African American woman.
Wow.
Wait a second.
Now,
Wait, I just thought you had a good tan.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
tan well.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to put myself in both shoes. If I am you, maybe I think I can change his mind.
You can change his life. You can
I
make
can
him
change
better.
once he experiences me. He's going to get a whole different idea of what it's like to be around African Americans, and he's I could change. What is it that for him if he is a KKK? How is he just? I don't know what he's thinking. What is he thinking?
I was a trophy.
She was a trophy.
A trophy.
And that's how he considered me. I was a trophy.
So he could just say he did that.
Right. And I basically used him to get out of my parents' house.
Yeah.
Because I was leaving the religion and decided
He was
to
a
do
trophy
this.
too. So he basically just
Yep.
trophy marriage.
We were
It was-
married for
it was-
8 years and together for 12.
8 years.
Wow.
It wasn't a disaster. That's
It was a disaster.
from the
From day
beginning.
one. It
8
was a
years
disaster.
of disaster.
Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, though, once you married for life. You
Yeah.
did not divorce for anything except for adultery, which he committed all the time. But I still was like, I got to stick with this. I have to.
So you still had some of that
Yeah.
ingrained in you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I still have it ingrained in me. It's kind of sad.
A little bit.
Yep.
So, okay. So what happened in this marriage of yours that you were with?
It was chaos. It was
KK chaos.
I mean, yeah.
He actually had a KKK member tattooed on his forearm. So when he shook your hand, that was the first thing you saw.
Wow.
Wow.
He had a Confederate flag on his back that said, "The South will rise again," which
And he's from Alaska.
he's from Alaska.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, he's not from Alaska. He was from Oklahoma, Sulphur, Oklahoma, but
That's kind of the Midwest, though. It's not really the South.
he lived in Alaska.
Yeah.
His whole family lived up there because I lived with his parents for 9 months while he was still.
In prison.
Incarcerated.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Were his parents members of the KKK?
No,
Okay.
but they could have been.
Ugh.
Yeah. Kinda
I just
crazy.
feel like, I mean, hindsight, easily we can always look at something and go, I wouldn't do that anymore. But I feel like if you just wanted to get out of the house, there might be a lot of other opportunities
Right.
than to go with the KKK prisoner.
Well,
Right.
he was the first gentleman he was the first guy to ever show me attention, or that I
Because you were
noticed.
sheltered,
I
and
was
you could-
sheltered.
yeah.
Exactly. It wasn't allowed.
Did you go to a public high school?
I did.
And you weren't allowed to date anybody in your high
Nope.
school or anything like that.
Nope.
Which That's your reason, people.
Yep. That's it.
Don't shelter your kids or they'll end up marrying KKK prisoners.
That's right. Who are 20 years older than them. 20 years older than them. And she was only 19.
Do you, maybe this is too personal. Do you know today if that guy's still around?
Yes.
Okay.
He's still alive. He still lives with his mother, who's 90 years old.
There a chance he's going to be listening to this podcast?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
No, when we finally divorced, I walked out of the courthouse and he threw his wedding ring on 3rd Avenue. It's somewhere on 3rd Avenue.
Really?
And,
Still?
And I turned around and looked at him and I said, I will live for the day I can spit on your grave.
Nice. Good one. Nice.
I was very
nice
angry.
Departing line.
I was very angry.
I like it.
I've gotten better after that, and he's miserable. We'll let him stay miserable.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of times people like that, just the karma is just letting them live for a long time.
Exactly.
And they put themselves in that situation, and unless they change, they're just going to stay miserable. And some people are happy in their misery.
Right.
So we'll just let him be happy in his misery.
Right. And I do know that he tried to marry, or he did marry a woman from the Philippines. But the father would not allow her to come over because he didn't have enough money.
Yeah.
So now I believe that they're divorced because he could never bring her to America.
Because he couldn't pay for it.
He couldn't pay for it.
Here's what I found out about Filipino women, and I know this is stereotyping, and I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast.
No, you probably shouldn't.
I have a very close friend who's from the Philippines, so I feel like I'm an expert on Filipino women.
Of course. Wow.
But here's what I've discovered.
What?
When I'm watching the ID channel,
Yes.
and anytime they're doing a story about a Filipino woman, she's always killing her mate. And I'm wondering if Filipino women, if they do that with everyone they marry.
Maybe your ex should have got him.
I know. I'm just thinking that maybe she should have came over.
I don't know. I mean,
I helped her hide the body.
Obviously, I'm kidding, but I always feel like that's weird. Every story that I see about Filipino women, they're killing their American husbands.
Yeah.
What is that about them?
What are you watching?
The
ID channel.
ID channel.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I guess they're military or whatever. But there's
I
trouble
don't.
there.
I don't know that that's like something they're grown up and taught to do. Like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna marry an American.
Yeah.
You're gonna go over there. You're gonna murder him after about a year. You're gonna take all his money.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're taught that.
No.
No.
Well, there was no money with my ex, so she wouldn't have gotten anything out of it.
No, here's what I think happens in that situation, and the reason for that is because, especially with Asian women, American men prey on them a lot.
Yes.
And especially men, sometimes it's a power issue.
Yes.
Because they think, I will be in more control if I have this certain type of woman. And a lot of times they believe it's going to come from, an Asian country.
Sure.
And so they prey on them. And so a lot of times it's the dudes that are creepy.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. And probably deserve to die.
Yeah, they deserve to be killed.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're totally stereotyping right now.
Everybody.
We're totally doing that.
Generalizing more than I even like to do in my own head.
I'm okay with it.
Honestly.
I'm all right with it.
I know you.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
If people listening to this podcast for the first time, maybe they'll be shocked. If they've been listening all along, they know.
They know. Yeah, they know who we are. All three of our listeners know who we are.
Yes, all
and one
three.
of them is here.
Yes.
So,
And we
yeah.
got another listener now that used to be in the Klan. Maybe
Oh,
still in
God.
the Klan.
Oh, God. Don't listen. Don't listen.
Oh, no, he still lives with his mother, who's 90 years old. So,
Well, in some ways, I mean, I understand the marriage is a disaster, but it did have a happy ending because it's over. It's done.
it's over.
Now,
It's done. Exactly. I moved
So-
on.
all the-
Now, how long, just out of curiosity, I imagine there's some control happening in this marriage that you were in by him controlling you, telling you what you can and cannot do,
Sure.
et cetera, et cetera. So how long after you finally decided to leave and you moved out on your own, did it take you to really not be under that control anymore?
Of his control?
Yeah. Or to not mentally feel like you were still under his control?
I'd say about a year.
About a year.
I'd say about a year. Yeah.
Okay. And was it one of those aha moments where you're like, I've been on my own for a year and I'm doing good.
Exactly.
Look at me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. I'm
Okay.
happier. I'm in a better place. And mind you, I came from one controlling family into another controlling family. So that's what I knew. I knew control. And that's what you did with women, especially in the religion. They're doormats.
You use them.
You use them. Yep. Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So after that year of being on your own and maybe feeling a little iffy about your situation, suddenly you're just like, you know what? Look at me. Look what I've done over a year all by myself. So what do you do next? Where do you go from there?
Oh, I met my next husband.
Wow, that was quick.
That was quick. Not as quick as you.
No, it was during the same time, actually. We kind of
okay.
started talking because my thought was because he cheated on me all the time. So I thought what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I met my second husband. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There we are.
There we are. That's where
for
we
another.
are.
That's for another day.
That's another podcast altogether.
Because he could be listening, and that wouldn't be good.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Well, I guess that might be one of my favorite subjects is relationships screw-ups because we always do it. All of us do it. We've all been through it.
Yep.
Well, not all, but most of us have.
Yes.
I've never understood those people like, I'm 75 and I married my high school sweetheart. We've never spent one day that we haven't.
We've never had an
been in
argument.
love. Yes.
Bullshit.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
Bullshit.
I feel like we could pry and find out some surprises in there.
I
But I
bet.
don't know. I mean, I don't know that. I always, what is that? Like 0.005% of the population?
Less,
I
I'm
don't
sure.
know.
Less. Has to be.
It took me a good, probably 50 something years before I realized how to be in a relationship.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Well, you learn a little bit each time, but I mean, especially when you're younger, you just pick bad people, you pick wrong people, and sometimes people pick you, and you're the wrong person.
True.
But it's just like you spend your whole 20s and 30s trying to figure out just how to, not only how to get through relationships, but how to get through life, and you screw up relationships, and you screw up people's heads, and then those people for the rest of their life don't trust somebody because of something that you did and the way you were. I don't know.
And
I don't know how
we affect
any of
each
us
other
make
in
it.
ways that we don't really realize sometimes. Like you said, somebody screws up your head and now you're going to go out and screw other people's heads because you're in a bad place. But not to mention, you get into a relationship, especially at a young age like 19 or any time in your 20s, really, when you don't actually fully understand who you are yet. And you are now sharing your life with someone else. And as you're growing and changing, they oftentimes don't grow and change in the same way. So that takes a lot of work. And for someone that doesn't even know who they are yet, and your partner, if they're around the same age, probably doesn't know who they are yet, there's a lot of discovery happening in young relationships. And sometimes you discover you're just not right for each other. Sometimes you discover you are very codependent and you can't leave each other, which will jack you up. I've been there. And it's just, relationships will basically form who you are as a person over your entire life. And it starts with your relationship with your mother or father.
Absolutely.
The type of relationships where one person is so used to being under control and then another person is so used to controlling. Those are, to me, those are the most tragic because they'll go on forever.
And they will attract each other.
Yeah.
And they'll hook up and just feel perfectly comfortable at once, and then they'll just stay in those roles forever.
And both of them usually are very pained people, and so they never have fun. Just don't have fun.
Yeah, they're not fun people to be around.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I learned from one of my relationships, I won't go into it, but just how you should never spend too much time in a destructive relationship.
No.
I mean, you got to give proper, especially when you're in a relationship, especially if it's with someone who's sick for whatever reason, mentally, physically, whatever. You got to give proper time, attention to trying to see if you can make it work. You don't want to just jump out for the first reason. But there will come a time when it just becomes plain. It's like the person's not going to do anything. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste any more time. I have a life and I can't let it go on. It's not going to go on forever, and I deserve better. This person now has to do this alone, or just find somebody else to do it with, but not me.
But not you.
You just got to move on.
Now, how many relationships have you had, Rick?
Me?
Yes.
Like serious or just all together?
Serious.
Serious relationships, 5 to 6.
5 to 6 serious relationships. And
Yeah.
you're 56 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. Ri-Sean, how many serious? Two?
Two.
Two? And you're in your 40s?
I'm 46.
46? Okay. All right. No
You?
comment.
Aw.
What? So we have to tell, and you don't.
Right?
I'm the one asking the questions here.
We just asked. I don't think you take any relationship serious. Yeah, I said it.
What? I take all of my relationships very seriously.
At first.
Ooh, are we getting personal?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I do take all my relationships very seriously. I also take myself very seriously. I take myself more serious than I take my relationships, which means that if I find myself in a relationship that I no longer want to be in, I listen to myself.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that when you do that, then the relationship, it's just like, then your relationship is no longer serious. You just like drop it because you need to take care of yourself.
Wow. Deep.
But if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of a relationship?
That's very true. You got to take care of yourself to do the relationship. But I just feel like sometimes you got to go hand in hand. No, I guess what I'm saying, what I'm getting at with you is I feel like you're afraid to get into a relationship. You're afraid to take a relationship serious. And I think it's time that you do.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like it's time.
So I'm just full of fear. Is what you're saying.
I think the feedback that I get from you is I feel like that I think a lot of times, and not all the time, but I think a lot of times you feel like you're inadequate or you don't have anything to put into a relationship, and I don't know that that's true.
I do feel like that often.
See what I'm saying? I know, and I feel like no one is perfect. No one has perfection to put into a relationship, and I feel like what you do is you get in to a relationship with someone, and the key is you both have to take it serious.
Yes.
And you get into someone like that who wants to commit, you want to commit, and then you grow together. You learn how, your partner helps you to grow, you help your partner to grow, and then you go the distance together.
Right.
And yourself, while it is important, it ceases to be important as an individual outside of the relationship, other than boosting the relationship, because you can't just go for 3 years in a committed relationship and go, I no longer want to do this.
Yes, you can.
But you're not supposed to. If you commit, that's not commitment. Commitment, unless you say, let's commit to 5 years. If you're marriage or if you're committing to eternity or the rest of your life, you got to take that serious. And you can pull out and grow. You can pull out and take care of yourself. And there are sometimes, certain people need to pull out and take intensive care of themselves. But when you commit to a relationship, especially if it's a marriage relationship, your whole goal is to keep that marriage going for the rest of whenever you determine that you want it to be. And most people say forever. So you want to keep it going forever. But if you're just deciding, I'm going to do this for a while, we're going to do it for a year or two.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Do that.
I have a tough time communicating things to people when I see them not growing for themselves. And I tend to try and help them do that for a while until I see them not helping themselves, and then I'm just kind of done.
But I think you should get invested in more into it. You should invest. I think you have a lot to put into a relationship, and I think that you should do that.
I don't know.
You need to do it. You need to start dating. I think you need to get a Tinder account. I think you really need to start looking at
I'm certainly not going to get a Tinder account. No, that's not happening. I'm a little old for Tinder, first of all, and I'm not into hooking up.
Yeah.
Hey, that's where my daughter found her husband.
That's right.
Okay, your daughter. See, there you go. Your daughter. She's in her 20s. Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't know. Every once in a while, I will click on the Match.com thing where it says, see people in your area, this age or whatever. And then I'll start to look at a couple of people and my anxiety just goes insane. And I'm like, no, I can't. No. And I turn it off.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I understand that. I've been through that. You impress me as being the type of person, you're more effective meeting people one-on-one first.
Yes.
But I also think that sometimes... No, I shouldn't say that.
Say it. Say it.
You sometimes on first impression can work a little too hard for attention.
I am a Leo.
I know.
I mean, I do kind of have to be the center of attention.
Be slightly overwhelming. So if a person is not used to that or can't handle that, I think I don't know that you would turn them off, but I think it would take them a while to kind of be like, what the hell is going on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have become, I think in the last 5-6 years, I have become very aware of my ability to glom on to people, and to, you're my best friend now, that kind of thing. And so I do it, I do the opposite now. I definitely want all of your attention, and I will try and get all of your attention, and then I'll just disappear. because I'm like, oh, that was a little clingy. That was a little, I'm in their space too much. Okay, I'll just leave them alone for a while. And then I'm gone. And then I just ghost them. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Well, where have you been? And I'm like, oh, I didn't want to, impose. And they're like, what is happening?
Even as a friendship, you kind of did that. And I remember I started bugging you.
Yes.
Our friendship. I'm like, nope, you have to be my friend.
I do.
Now, how
that.
did you guys meet?
Okay, well,
Do we want to
you
talk
want the
about
real
this?
story?
Tell the real story.
Okay,
You
so
want the real story?
when I was with my second husband, we used to be swingers,
Hey,
and
this is going in the wrong direction here. What?
we used to meet people online a lot
my God.
to go out and hang out with. First of all, it's not just all about sex. You go and hang out with them and see if you want to have sex with them, and then you go back and have sex.
The following part of the podcast is not meant for children.
Anyways, we were making a lot of friends, air quote friends, and I had been introduced to somebody by the name of Christy, who actually
Is this a real name? We should not use real names.
Oh, it's not.
That's
It's not
even
her
a
real name.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
not her real name.
That's a good thing.
So, anyway, she introduced me to Ri-Sean, and we became friends. No, Andrea,
No.
Not her real name either.
Danny.
It was her birthday
Not his real name.
party.
Oh,
And
okay.
you walked into the restaurant.
Right, okay,
And I
go
turned
ahead.
around and went, hello? As she walked in.
Yeah, I was hot then. I was hot.
She was hot.
There was a while there where I was hot, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I was hot.
So, yeah, I was in lifestyle as well. So, that's how we met, actually. She'd walked in for a birthday party, and you put lip gloss on me.
I did. I put lip gloss on her.
And you said, you must be Ri-Sean. I've heard about you.
That's right. I
Yeah.
had heard about you from
That's what it
these
was
other
through.
people.
Yeah.
Yes, who were all kind of loosely acquainted and or friends with each other. The levels of relationships were kind of varied, but everybody, it's a small circle,
Right.
so everybody kind of knows everybody. And I had heard about Ri-Sean and her boyfriend at the time,
Right.
and I hadn't met them. And then I met her at this birthday party, and I wanted to hang out with her. So then we agreed to meet for coffee at a later date.
Yep.
And we did, and just been friends since then.
Oh.
Yep.
And that
We've been friends since
was 2004.
3 or 4. Yeah.
2003 or 4, because then I had you over to the house one time.
Right.
And I was on a call. She was just coming over. She'd never been to my house before. And this was April of 2004. And I was on a phone call, and she came in, and I'm like, I'll be right back. I got to go finish this phone call. And I left the room, and my cats, who were babies at the time, go running up to Ri-Sean, and she just sat down on the floor. She's like, kitties!
That's how I met Booger and Pretty Girl.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think I came home with you that night
No.
to stay.
You did.
I did.
No, it was the next night. The next
Yeah.
night you came over and you stayed for a couple days at my house. Yep.
I was
that's right.
moving out from
That's
my
right.
second husband.
That's right.
Okay.
You asked.
So we've been-
I
we've
didn't
been-
realize there was that much stuff.
Yeah, you
We've
asked.
been connected since.
I mean, we could have just said we met online,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was like
or we met at a birthday party.
church camp or something.
Church
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I
time
go
at
to
band
church.
camp?
Yeah, that's more like
Yeah.
it.
I don't know what's going on in Alaska there.
And yes, we've had sex.
Okay.
Too much information?
That was a long time ago, though.
It was a long time ago.
Long time sex.
Are you speechless now?
And I think she's the only one that I've ever yelled at, and she still loves me.
She's the
So
only one.
everybody in this room has had sex with you. What the hell? What is?
There's only
What?
2 of you. There's only 2 of you.
Ooh, I got warm in here.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that is another point you should know about my friend Ri-Sean is that she has hung up on me 3 times. And that is one of my...
Hung up as in like phone?
Yes.
Like,
Oh.
Like a
click.
phone conversation.
I'm
She'll say
really
her
hung
piece.
up on you.
And no, she'll say her piece and hang up.
Uh-huh.
And she's the only person I've ever spoken to after they've done that to me.
Oh, really?
And she's done it 3 times.
One of them was her fault.
No, she's wrong.
She had surgery and didn't take care of herself properly.
I feel like one of those times happened when we were together. I kind of remember that. You were really mad about it.
I don't
think
remember.
like very
I
early on.
honestly don't
I think
remember.
so. Maybe.
I remember you called me back to tell me not to hang up on you, and I went click.
Ooh, that's 2.
Oh, maybe.
You called me back. You were upset with me.
Well, not every. I just want to underscore that not everyone who is going to be a guest on this podcast has to have sex with Cheri. I feel like that should be
a disclaimer.
Here's what's weird.
What?
Our first guest has had sex with me. Our second guest has had sex with you. I'm sensing a pattern here. We only have guests on this show,
and we've had sex,
who have had sex with us.
Wow.
And I don't know if we should make that a requirement.
No.
I really don't think we should.
No, because if it hasn't happened already, and if you want to be on the podcast, we have to have sex. No.
I kind of feel like that there might be some blackmail involved. Like, I want to be a guest, and if not, I'll show them the pictures.
Oh, crap. Yes, you can be a guest.
That's weird and creepy. Once again, I always feel like we can't go any farther depth than we've gone in the past, and now we are.
Do you think that we should call up and interview everybody I've ever had sex with?
Oh, good Lord.
The podcast is only an hour. I just want to say, it's only an hour-long podcast.
We'll do a monthly segment.
That's like one of those
had sex with.
serial podcasts.
Yeah,
it goes on.
It would go on for years.
27, 30 episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
it could be like at 9/11 where we'll just call out the names.
Oh God!
While a bell rings in the background. Never forget. That's what should happen.
We'll have a banner with everyone's name on it.
Right. Mission accomplished.
I want it carved out of granite, damn it.
Well, okay. I learned a lot today.
I probably won't be invited back now.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
Yeah, but
everybody loves Ri-Sean.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a requirement that people have sex with. I don't think it should be a requirement that anybody has sex with us anymore, ever. It's a requirement. My wife has demanded that it not be in the marriage contract.
She's demanded that it not be?
Yeah, that we don't ever have sex. And that's true. We never had sex.
She's the one that always wants to have sex with you.
That's true. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you try and run and hide.
Yeah.
You pretend you're asleep.
I have Asperger's. You know. You can't make eye contact.
It's because of your condition.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Exactly right. Okay, so where do we go? What are we doing?
What are we doing? Where are we going?
Let's talk a little bit about this game that we've got going on, which should be wrapped up. Our Halloween trick-or-treat game. We are going to announce the winners. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do it on this show.
No.
Because as we are recording this show, the game isn't over yet. So we're going to have to do it very, very soon.
So you could say that we're still calculating the results.
We're still calculating the results. We will mention it and talk about it on Facebook. We'll put it on our website. Mm-hmm. And but we want it to be fair. Here's what I think.
What do you think?
I'm just going to make a little prediction.
Okay.
I don't know, but the way things are going,
everybody's a winner.
I think everybody's going to win a little something.
Yeah.
And you know, that's always the kind of game I like. That's going to be kind of fun.
And we're not talking participation trophies here.
No.
We're talking good
kind of
shit.
Cool. We'll have some cool stuff for people.
Yeah.
If they want it. They may not want it after this podcast.
Clearly not a lot of people
I don't want to be identified with the podcast at all.
That's true.
But yeah, that was fun. I think next year we'll work out even some more kinks. Now I want to say, because we've talked about this before, I want to talk about it because it is kind of our Halloween thing that we're doing this year.
Uh-huh.
We are doing an event that happens. Really, we started it with our other podcasts. Some of the people who listen to this podcast, a lot of people who listen to this podcast, started listening to us because of Life in a Kill podcast.
Correct.
Which we did for a year and a half or whatever. Mm-hmm. 2 years. Was it? I don't remember. Anyway. We are doing Kilt of Horrors, which will happen in downtown Decatur in Atlanta on October 29th. If you listen to the podcast and you want to see Cheri and myself reading horror stories on stage at Mac McGee's Pub here in Atlanta, do that. Come down 7 to 10, 7 to 9, somewhere around there at Mac McGee's in Decatur Square.
And that's Monday the 29th?
Monday the 29th.
So if this comes out on Monday, it'll be a week from the day you're listening to
That
this,
is correct.
If you're listening to it.
We should have a new podcast on that day, too.
Yes.
So we're just inviting you out. You don't have to do it, but it'll be fun if you want to come out. We'd love to see our listeners when we get the opportunity, too.
Sure.
And it's probably the biggest Halloween thing we're going to do this year.
Agreed.
So please come out and see us.
We're going to read stories.
We're going to read stories and have a good time.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Our friend Doug in a Pub, I think, might be there.
Yes.
At this point, it looks like. and some other people, and we're hoping that we can kind of open it up and let people who show up possibly read or tell some scary stories.
Possibly.
Things that happened in their life that was scary.
Sure.
Maybe they married a Klansman.
Maybe they did.
We don't know.
It's possible. Because that's a hell of a story. That's a hell of a scary story, I'll tell you.
That is scary. That scared me.
Now, let me ask you this, Ri-Sean.
Sure.
I'm just going to...
Go for it.
Not you, Ri-Sean. I'm going to go back to your story a little bit, and I'm going to ask you one question. Did you know he was a Klansman before you married him?
Well, yes, I dated him for 2 years.
Okay.
Just made him hotter. You tell your friends, it's like, well, I mean, I'm dating Brian, and he's in the Klan. It's kind of like, I'm seeing a lawyer. I'm seeing a doctor. I'm seeing a Klansman. He's the guy that lights the cross on fire. That's
and
right.
he's going to be out of prison soon.
That's right. His mom says he's hot.
It's such a disaster.
Oh, my God.
No, I did. I just thought that it would change. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I didn't think it was that... I don't know. I thought it would be different.
Sure. Okay.
That is the mantra of those kind of relationships.
It is.
I thought it would be different.
Agreed.
I've been in so many of those. It's like, now you stop back and you just like, what was I thinking? And then you just think, oh, I thought it would be different. I thought it would change. I thought I could change the person. I thought it would be different.
Yep.
I thought that because I was in their life, they would be better.
Yes.
And the smartest people get out in 6 months. The rest of us is sometimes 6 years. But
sometimes
it just goes on and on and on until we're ready to say, I thought it'd be different.
I
Bye.
thought it'd be different. Okay, so are we ready to discuss?
Wow. Ringing the little bell there.
I didn't ring a bell.
Okay.
That's a glass.
You want to discuss the live beer review?
I would like to do that, yes.
What we're reviewing?
Yes.
Okay. A 7%
So again,
alcohol?
Just to remind you what we're reviewing The Experiment, which is a sour beer with wild Alaskan blueberries from Anchorage Brewing Company that Ri-Sean was nice enough to bring us all the way from Alaska in her suitcase. It could have ruptured because it was a pressure sealed bottle, and it could have ruined and stained every piece of clothing she had in her suitcase.
Because it was
did not.
blueberry and
That's
purple.
correct.
And what did you think?
I am thoroughly enjoying this beer.
I am too.
Yes. Now, I'm going to be a little bit honest with you, and I'm going to say I wouldn't call it beer.
You are correct. I might. Does it say beer on there? Or does it say ale?
I think it's an ale.
It's an ale.
It doesn't say beer.
No, but again, I
We say live beer review, but we've reviewed ales before, so they're kind of the same. We're going to say they're.
have you ever had framboise?
But it says that, right? Doesn't it say that down there?
Yep.
Right down there.
It's very much like framboise.
Yep.
That's what it is. I'll bring you one. You'll know. But it's very fruity, very fruity.
Well, I would say that I think you're wrong. The carbonation lasted till the very end for mine, which was kind of nice. The sour is good. It's very nice and sour. One thing I will say is the blueberry taste at the beginning was sort of gone by the time it got to the end.
Yes.
Or I didn't notice it.
It tends to get lost the more you have. Which is true of a lot of flavors.
But it's delicious. It's kind of like drinking wine beer.
That's framboise. That's exactly what that is.
Is it?
Pretty much.
I don't even know. So what do you think? What are you scoring it? What are you going to give it? We got 3 scores today.
Okay, I'll start. I'm going to give it... Wait, we haven't asked your opinion yet. What's
your
think
opinion?
of it?
What do you think of it? Have you
It's
had it
okay.
before?
No, I haven't.
This is the first time.
First time. And I don't know anything about beers. So when I went to go get it, I just asked the guy, like, hey, what's a good beer? What's a good sour? And he told me. So, I don't know. It was tasty.
It was tasty?
It was tasty.
It tastes
Okay.
nothing like beer, though.
No, it doesn't. I was expecting a malt, and there's no
Yeah.
malt taste in it.
Is that something you would buy for yourself after today?
No.
Okay.
Just because I'm not a beer drinker. Now, if somebody offered it to me, I'd have a glass.
Okay. That's good.
All right, it's between me and you.
4.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the highest thing you've scored so far.
I really like it. I'm sorry she only brought 2.
I was going with 4.
Okay.
gonna
So
be
you
fun.
really like it too?
Yeah, I did. I really liked it a lot. This is what I wish that New Hollands was.
Because we can actually get that one.
Yeah, I bet we could find this. You know what? I bet we could find it.
I don't think they would distribute all the way down here.
I can always get it for you.
She
Yeah.
can
I
get
can
it
always
and
mail it to you.
Ship
I think
it
we
to
could
us.
find it.
Just have to go to the post office to get it.
But yeah, I would go with 4. If you're around Alaska and you can get this, I would say do it, especially if you like sours.
Yes,
If you like fruity sours,
this is the one.
this is what you should get. Blueberry. It's the color of wine.
It is the color of like a good Pinot, a fruity Pinot. It's also a little bit lighter than a Pinot, I guess. It's more like you said, a grape juice, but not as purple. Does that make sense?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Am I accurate?
I would think so.
Okay.
That was the thing that impressed me about it the most is just the color. It's very purpley. Like a lot of the blueberry sours or other sours we've had have just been just a regular beer color, kind of amber or whatever.
Yeah.
This actually has the color, which makes me feel like it's got blueberries in it. Whether I don't even, it could be
It does.
artificial.
It's
artificial.
made
I don't know.
with wild Alaskan blueberries.
They're wild.
Yep.
Wow.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere up there.
They're in a swinging
So are
relationship.
So are
They're
cranberries. Everywhere up
Do
there.
they have cranberry? What if they have a cranberry version of this?
They might.
I think we're really rambling now. But
think
anyway,
we
so
are.
I'm going to say 4. You're saying 4, 5. So that means
What's
we both
Ri-Sean's?
really like it.
I really don't know how to score it.
She doesn't know how to score it.
Okay.
She doesn't know how to score.
I don't.
Okay. Pick a number
don't know
between
how to
1 and
score.
5.
3.
Okay.
She's picked
perfect.
3.
Perfect.
This is pretty close. That's
Okay.
not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like that we highly recommend this, so please do get you some if you want to. And if you can't find it, get you another sour and enjoy that. I feel like sours kind of all taste the same
No.
to me. It's the little tiny injected flavor that separates them, and sometimes that's more pronounced than others. For instance, the blueberry in this
Very
was a lot
strong.
more pronounced than,
Yes.
let's say, the blueberry in New Holland, which I felt like didn't exist.
Right.
And so the one we had last week? We did the apple rhubarb, which was sour, but the sour part was, at times I didn't even taste the apple or the rhubarb.
True.
I just tasted the sour.
True.
So, yeah, when you can find a sour that's got a nice little flavor to it, I say grab it.
This is impressive, so if you get an opportunity to try it, please do and let us know what you think. You can reach us at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com, and you can send us anything you want to there. You can send us a note. You can tell us to fuck off. Please don't. And you can also, send us pictures. You can send us anything you want, topics you want us to discuss on the podcast. That'd be great.
Halloween podcast.
Halloween
podcast would be coming up. I want to see Halloween costumes. I want people to send pictures of their Halloween costume.
Yes.
When they're getting into and Asperger's advice.
Add cheese.
Cheese and Asperger's. Ass cheeseburgers. I
Yes.
have ass cheeseburgers.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. As cheeseburgers.
No, seriously, I'm just curious. I want to know what people think. That's just something. I should give a quick update on some products. We did a podcast 2 weeks ago where I ordered some products. And and I've had some more product problems, which I'll say that for another episode. But I
Okay.
will say what I wanted to point out is the no stick pan, piece of crap. And I told you it didn't work.
Right.
Threw it out.
Right.
So I did some research about no stick pans because I was like, there's no such thing as a no stick pan. So I found on a website that said this is the best no stick pan, and it's made by a company called Allclad.
Allclad.
Which I think if you know anything about cooking, you know that that's really good cookware. When I told my wife about it, she was like, yeah, that's the best. I was like, I don't even know.
Okay.
So I found no stick pan by Allclad. I bought it. I've been cooking on it. Not one time has anything stuck to it.
Really?
It's the best no stick pan.
Really?
I have found a good no stick pan.
And you don't use any kind of cooking oil or butter?
You don't have to. That's
Really?
and that's the thing about this. It cleans up. It doesn't stick at all.
You can fry eggs and it won't stick?
You definitely can. And here's like the first time I used the other pan I had, it did not stick the first time. The second time it started sticking, and then it stuck worse and worse and worse every time after that. This one, I have cooked so much stuff on it, and nothing sticks at all. It's
Wow.
perfect.
So you would recommend the Allclad no stick?
Allclad, I'm going to buy everything Allclad from now on. We've decided that's our cookware from now on.
Good for you.
I'm going to buy that. So that's a little update.
An update on
I'm
the
not
idea.
trying to sell. I'm not trying to sell nonstick pans, but I'll tell you, I went to Home Goods, and it was kind of discounted because they're usually like $150 for a pan.
Yeah.
And this one was like $39.
$39.
I was trying to remember 35, 30. It's like around $39.
Gotcha.
Get it. Go get you one.
I'm gonna go get me one.
It's worth it.
Maybe not
Definitely worth
today.
it. Love it.
But I'll go get me one.
So that's my update.
Okay.
Are we
Well,
done?
good, because last week you were just basically saying it doesn't work.
No, 2 weeks ago I was saying, and it didn't. I'm throwing that pan away, even though I paid the same amount of money for it.
Good. Good for you. Okay. So, yeah, I think we're done here.
We're done here.
Everybody's already stopped listening anyways.
Okay. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.